MMA Oddsbreaker, I'm Frank Trigg. That is Leonard Garcia getting ready for his fight in Legacy Fighting Championships coming up here pretty quick against Kevin Aguilar. Obviously, record-wise, you got a lot more experience at 17-11, but this little upstart kid is 8-0.
Yeah.
You know, you had a 5-fight losing streak that got you out of the UFC, but since then you've won 3 in a row. What's been going on with you, and how is it? Why do you look so much better now than you did in the UFC? Like, I mean, you look better. I mean, you're smiling again. Your snap is back. You know, before we started the interview, you were joking around. Like, you're better. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know as well as I do, man. When you're in the game for 7 or 8 years, I was in the UFC. I just got lazy, man. I would go to the gym. If I knocked somebody out that week, I would take the rest of the week off. I was like, oh man, I'm good. You know, I'm doing great. I just got really complacent, man. And the coaches, they would deal with it, but they would be like, man, come on, Leonard. They were expecting me to kick it up, and then man, I just never did. And then I had like real small stupid injuries. I broke my foot right before I fought Cody McKenzie. Again, it was like fights. I had to take the fight because of money. I needed money, and it was like, man, if I can win this fight, even with the broken foot, I can beat this dude. But I just wouldn't go into the gym. I wouldn't train, and man, I was just super lazy. And then Dwayne went out to Team Alpha Male, and he just called me up, and he was like, "Look, man, you got to fix this. I mean, a lot of stuff started happening, and then the Sean Shelby and Joe Silva had several talks with me about, what's going on. They thought it was something personal, and it wasn't. It was just me, man, being lazy. And I finally got back in the gym, started doing everything. I got married, started going to church. Really, man, I mean, just did a full
hold
180.
Hold on. I mean, the rest of the world may know, but Leonard got married?
Yeah, that's what Cowboy said. He was like, dude, I was supposed to beat you at that, and it's just a funny situation, man. Me and my wife, man, we just decided that living out of wedlock and doing things, it was a church deal and everything, and we decided to make everything right, and man, it's helped me out a lot. I feel like in the gym, I'm a better person. Just in general, man, I feel much better all the way around. So, of course, when you're living correctly and you're doing things correctly, you go to the gym, your ears are open a little more. You do listen. I do take criticism. I'm not standing and trading with guys every single day. I still have that in me, just because I don't know. It's something that you can never break. But at least now I'm moving. My head movement's there. I don't have huge black eyes throughout the whole training camp, and it's just I just feel a lot better. And then having good guys that get fired up, that they put a target on me because I was in the UFC for so long, so yeah. They put so much pressure, and I know they're going to give me their best, so it puts pressure on me to have a great camp as well.
Your wife has been behind you for a long time. It's not like it was a new relationship and all of a sudden you guys got married. It's the same woman that's been there for you for years, but just having that piece of paper and having those rings has completely changed your attitude, which is amazing to me, because usually most guys are like, yeah, I'm locked in, man. Like, they start panicking a little bit, they start freaking out a little bit. Like you got calmer, and I noticed it. I noticed it when you were fighting like a fight ago or 2 fights ago. I was like, there's something weird about Leonard. He's just changed his game a lot, and so it's good to know that's a woman and it's the same woman. You didn't get changed up, and that's nice, man. That's really good to hear that finally you are back on track the way you should be, because there's no reason for you to be out of the UFC skill wise. Like, you had the skills, it was just wasn't happening fight night.
Yeah, and it was just that's what Sean and Joe were telling me. They're like, look, Leonard, it's so hard to try to cut a guy like you because you're competitive. Every single fight is either a fight of the night or a candidate for something. And, we get guys that come into the UFC and lose 2 or 3 fights right away. They get blown out in the first round, and you're not having that situation. It's 5 decisions that you've dropped, and then they're like, in the Holloway fight, Of course, we
Yeah.
felt like we won that one, but at the end of the day, man, the judges are always right. I mean, there's nothing you can do. So, I just didn't harp on any negativity, man, and just went for it, man. And I can feel it in training, like I'm back. I'm nipping on guys' heels that I should be, like Cowboy, man. He that during my 5-fight losing streak, he would beat the brakes off me, man. It was pathetic. Like, I mean, I'd go to the gym and I'd leave after I trained with him and think about quitting MMA just because of how bad it was. And then now we're super competitive again. We're going at it. We're head to head, and they're like, man, everybody asks my wife what she's feeding me and stuff, but it's not that. It's just the attitude that I go into the gym with, the way I feel now, and it's just a better feeling.
There's two organizations pretty much that are making good feeder programs to go back to the UFC or get into the UFC for some of these younger guys. RFA is one of them, and Legacy is the other one. Mick Maynard is a great promoter. I've known him. He's a close personal friend of mine. He's just a great man. How many more fights do you think you got to win in Legacy before the UFC starts calling you again? Do you think it's a three deal? The next fight, like, what is it?
They asked me to take a 3-fight deal with Legacy. I've been in contact with them after every fight. I talk to them quite a bit. I'm not going to put the pressure on myself and say I have to win, this fight or the next fight. To be honest, if you want to be in the UFC, you have to win every fight. So, I'm just looking at it like, I mean, I talk to Sean every time after I fight. I think this is a great fight for me because he's a standout kid. He's definitely on his way to being in the UFC in the future. I'm hoping that me being a veteran and knowing what to do in tight situations really sticks out in this fight, because I think he's going to be there with me tooth and nail through the whole fight. He's got a good stand-up game, and his ground game is underrated. Of course, he submitted one of our new guys out at Jackson's, Hunter Tucker. And Hunter's a tough kid. He's not a kid that you just go in there and submit in the first round. And, so I've got to be right on that night, to get past Kevin. But we're doing everything that we need to do. And I feel like being a veteran is going to be the difference in this one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Leonard Garcia, the new and improved, but the old guy that I actually started falling in love with and watching fight because of his action. You're back, Leonard, man, and I'm glad to see it. And you are right. It's going to be a tough fight against Kevin Aguilar. I really do think it's going to be a tough fight, but you're a veteran and you're crafty when you want to be. You just have to use that mindset and that wisdom. And it's going to be a great fight. Another one of those fight of the night deals, but also one of those situations where you come out the victor, and that's a fight the UFC is going to want to see you do and take a really good hard look at you. And good thing for Mick Maynard, he's not scared to let you go. If you got to go to UFC, he'll let you go. So
yeah, Mick's been great, like you said, man. He's a great guy. He's been behind me the whole time. He's done stuff for me. Whenever I was splitting camps between here and Dwayne, he would fly me out there to Sacramento.
Oh.
He was like paying for that. So I mean, for him to do that and get behind a person like that, it makes you feel good as a fighter, and you want to go out there and give him a great show. And I feel like both fights that I've been in there for him, he always tells me, he's like, man, dude, I love watching your fights over and over, and it's great. I'm glad because Legacy's Texas based. I'm from Texas, so it's just been a good trip for me.